Good evening. Welcome to Creative Musings with Uma Joy and Kelly Bonsall. I'm Uma Joy, and I am here with Kelly Bonsall tonight as we are wanting to explore this concept of I am meant to feel peace. And in truth, Kelly brought that up this morning, and my initial response was, that sounds great. And is it true? Is it true with a capital T that we are meant to feel peace? And I kind of walked around it for a while, and it's like, yeah. So I'm going to let Kelly start more of where this is coming from and some of her thoughts about it. And we welcome you that are live and those of you that will join us in the quantum field later with the video, or those of you that come on after we get started. So Kelly, it's good to see you as always. Yeah. And I'm really interested to see what comes out of our conversation tonight.
Thank you. Good to see you, and thank you anyone watching this video. So well, where it came from, I'm reading a book right now, and it's called The Way of Integrity, and it's by Martha Beck. And she's talking about integrity as like a sense of being whole, and that we often kind of like, piece ourselves off to all these different things, these responsibilities that we think, we're supposed to be doing, the shoulds, the list of shoulds, and how often do we really do and behave and be and live our lives in accordance and in alignment with that yes, like that truth, that full body yes that we've talked about before, Uma. So like when your mind is like yes, and your heart's like yes, and your body's like yes, and your spirit and your field are like vibrating yes, because there's so many things that we think that we're supposed to be doing. And so she in the book brought up this exercise, and I haven't fully done it, but it still resonated with me. But just talking about like tasks that we do that we think we have to do, So she used the example of I have to take the garbage out, which we do, the garbage needs to be taken out and taken care of. But then if you use the phrase, I meant to take the garbage out, right? Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. But then if you think of like deepening into like, I meant to feel peace. So the difference is like the garbage being taken out is something that needs to be done, and I can do that, but it's not like, that's not the thing that I'm meant to do. Like that doesn't define who I am and my way and my path and my purpose. And like I said, I just started reading it, so I have like a long way to go to fully grasp, the concepts. That it's a big book. But, and I don't even know how important that like backstory is to our conversation tonight. But what happened to me last night when I was reading it is that I was in a place of feeling just like uncomfortable, like questioning, like I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Am I making decisions that I shouldn't be making? Am I living my life the way I should, blah, 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 blah. And then when I read that line, I was like, okay, I meant to feel peace. And I was like, okay, I meant to feel peace. And I went to sleep just like repeating that in my mind. And it just like eased me to the place of like, kind of like, does this bring me peace? Yeah. When it's like, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Does it align with my integrity? Does this align with my inner knowing? Does this align with my soul's calling? Right. And sometimes those questions are really hard to answer. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't even know what my purpose is, but does this allow me to feel peace? I'm meant to feel peace. Like I am here. The universe, spirit wants me to feel peace, or however you can, however you imagine that to be. And it was like an anchor point. Like I had also done a yoga practice last night, and she's like, think of an anchor point, a phrase, a breath, something. And sometimes I can come up with stuff, and I was having a hard time, and I was like, that is it. like any practice that I'm in or thing that I'm doing, if I can just come back to when you're in that discomfort to feel, you know, I'm meant to feel peace. And then I felt in my body just like a letting go, an allowing, a surrender, even to a trust that trusting myself that I know the things and what I'm, meant to be doing. And I've offered that actually to a few different groups of friends since because I just felt like it was really, really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the context of where this came from. And what comes up for me as you're saying this is the idea of when we are feeling peace, there is a greater opportunity to expand into what we need to do in our lives. And so then what comes up is, well, if I'm meant to feel peace. Am I meant to feel joy? Am I meant to feel what else is there that I'm meant to feel? And the idea of I'm meant to feel versus I deserve to feel, and it gets a little bit sketchy. It's like, well, is that true? And I've really, we've talked about this before that, in our intentional creativity circle, and our teacher, friend, mentor, Shiloh, is continually saying, is that a truth with a capital T? Is it true in all situations for it to be a truth? And I'm going to go with I am meant to feel peace is a truth in that it might not always be what I'm wanting in that moment, whatever is happening. But if I can be at peace inside of me, then I can handle whatever is happening.
Yeah.
And so that's where it comes up for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And, part of like where it is in this book is talking about, accessing like a soul teacher. And so she talks about like that there's external soul teachers. And I've been thinking about Shiloh so much and specifically, and then intentional creativity as a concept as a soul teacher. And then Martha Beck moves into speaking about that really our soul teacher is just meant to point us to our inner teacher, like our inner guide. And intentional creativity, and Shiloh says that all the time, that like I am not the guru, I am not the one
Oh,
giving
yeah.
you the answers, like I'm showing you how to access it yourself. And we have fully realized that and have now been able to like help others
Yeah.
access that. And so when you talk about like the truth, I think of it as like that being a truth coming from that like inner, teacher. Like in
Yeah.
this space that is me, like, is this a truth? And I think of it, and I wonder if like peace, because when you were saying like, am I meant to feel joy? Am I meant to feel happiness? And about like kind of core values and like what like we all have like different things that are just really like non-negotiables, like in order for me to thrive, like this is the thing that I need joy, or I need beauty, or I need comfort, or whatever it is. And those aren't really values, but um like just the I don't really know what the word is, like the essence of what we need to be experiencing in order to feel like we're fully ourselves and capable of continuing to become like more and more of who we are in this existence at this time and all
Mhm.
that. So I do think that peace, when I think of it, like I meant to feel peace, I also, when I hear that, I think, and so is every other being. And creature and
Yeah.
entity and thing on this planet and this universe, is also meant to feel peace. And so when I think of it for myself, it makes me feel compassion and a greater, um, you know, like feeling moved to want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can for the other to
Right.
feel that as well.
Yeah.
So, talking about like that truth, like, is it true, like, all the time? And I think that you and I both recognize that every being is love, no matter what horrible thing you've done, what great thing you've done, what mistakes or achievements or whatever, like we truly at our essence are love. And in being that, we are all meant to feel peace. And that, just imagining that for yourself and knowing that you are meant to feel it and everyone else could be like your lifelong, you know, journey and project, and just to try to, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I just had this acknowledgement inside. So my painting behind me, I'm going to move it a little bit so you can see there's so many dots, and it's the current one that I'm, whoops, let's see this way. Anyway,
Yes. Yes. I see them.
so I spent about an hour on the dots yesterday, and I had on music that was Jennifer Barazon, Song for All Beings, which is the meta prayer: may all beings be happy, may all beings be safe, may all beings everywhere be free. And when I say it on my own, I include that, and may all beings be free and at peace. And as I spent literally an hour with dots, that was my focus, because it's like, that's what it is. May all beings, you, me, two-leggeds, four-leggeds, one-leggeds, plants, animals, etc., winged, finned. And it doesn't just stop here. And if I am not in harmony with myself in that peaceful state, it is more possible or that I create disharmony for somebody else. If I'm not being conscious and aware, then, what does that do for anyone else, any one thing being other than me? And so coming back to peace. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 And, I think when I think about like the journey and the the work of finding a way to access that peace, not more easily, but just having more access to it, for lack of like a descriptive word in there. um it's for, when we, like you're saying, when we can access that, and we've talked about this with, like, when you have your light, then you can see it in others, and you can, all of it. um it just it's like, it is that ripple effect. I
Yeah.
think that the spaces that you put yourself in and the interactions that you have, um just do more good in the world than harm, I believe. you know I mean, if I was like, I'm meant to feel, miserable, like, I mean, just saying that, like, I know that that's not true for me. And I can already feel what that would look like if I stepped out of my house, into my job, into my life with my
Mm-hmm.
kids, like, with that as my mantra. And I don't think anybody says that to themselves, but I think some people, that's how they're showing up, you know,
Yeah.
is they might as well be saying to themselves, falling asleep every night, I'm meant to be miserable. I'm meant to be miserable. And then just that's. And I know that I've had moments like that too. But, I think we, with our purpose of these calls to just talk about creativity, um, that that understanding of my inner teacher and being able to accept that pretty easily, really. When I said that I'm meant to feel peace, I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I think there would have been times in my life when I would have really struggled. Are you? I don't know. Do you deserve it? Blah, 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 blah. And, but knowing myself on a deeper level and knowing my connection to source and spirit and through, I mean, I think intentional creativity has given me the access to that other things have helped point me in that direction and have like shown me, like I've seen it through the window, and I know that it's there, but I haven't been able to actually like bring it into who I am. Like
Yeah.
creativity is, yeah, yeah,
Great. All right.
yeah,
Hmm. May we all feel peace. Yeah.
yeah.
So, you know what? I just had this flash. No, I did it right. All of a sudden, I was thinking that, and we do have a few people that are with us live right now, and
Hey,
we invite you to post something in the chat and say hello and any thoughts that you have about if you're meant to feel peace or how you carry that in your body. We would love to hear from you. And well, we're seeing if somebody wants to comment and just even to say hi and let us know that you're with us. Um, so Thursday night is our creative musing, and we've got I think about 3 more of those, and then we've got a little shift that we'll tell you about in the next couple of weeks that we're gonna kind of shake it up a little bit and keep things fresh. That sounds like some exciting things to be coming up. And yeah, that's
yeah.
keeping warm in the mountain country here in Taos. It's been below zero for the last few days at night anyway, but now we're going back up. It's a heat wave to you know mid 40s in the day now.
Wow.
Hi, Kathleen and Rose.
Hello.
So, Rose, I carry peace when I'm on a nature walk to decompress. Indeed, that
Yeah,
it's kind of like that makes I do this, and by doing this, I have this back, and it creates that
yeah,
continual flow. So, yes,
yeah. And what a gift to know the thing that makes you feel that way,
yeah,
because to be able to have a tool and a place or an activity or whatever it is that can help you come back to that understanding.
yeah.
That's
And peace and
beautiful.
meditation before sleep, by all means. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, and the reminder, even if we just stop anywhere along the way and taking a conscious breath,
yeah,
that recenter the awareness to appreciate, the awareness to remember, and just take a breath, that conscious breath to look around and see the beauty and feel all of this amazing process called life.
mm-hmm.
Yep, it
Yeah,
has ups and downs and times that try to pull us away from that center of peace,
yeah,
and come back to it.
yeah, yeah. And I think the aha for me, I know we're at our time, was just that no matter where you are or what has just happened or what you have just done or not done or mistake or where whatever, you know, at all times we are meant to feel peace,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah. You're right, Rose.
even the
Even a
minute,
minute helps. Even one breath helps.
yes,
And yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And for those that catch us on the replay, we hold space for you, and we still love to hear your comments as well. And thank you, Kathleen. Peace be with you as well. And we appreciate all of you. Peace and blessings.
Yes. Mwah. Thank you.